Good morning, folks. Good morning. How we doing? How we doing? Penthouse views looking beautiful. Live from the penthouse, round 2 underway. Starts before the end of round 1. I mean, a problem for sure. Problem I don't fully understand, but okay, all right. This will probably be a shorter stream just because I do plan on being live for both games tonight. Let's go to game 3 next week, Unc. Game 3 of what? Or the Stars? Are the Stars not the home team? I thought the Stars had the best record in the West. Jets are the only ones ahead of them? Okay. So why do they play? If the Jets are the only ones ahead of them, why did they have to play each other in the second round? NHL format is buns. Are you going to apologize to us for being wrong about the Clippers? Sure, maybe. Oh my God. Great start. Great start. Shill. Probably not a great guess. Shops. Shush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be all right. Easy. You're like the least frazzled that I've seen you almost all season. Thank you. I'm locked in. My team's playing in game 2 tonight. What's there to be upset about? What's there to be upset about? Cape Coast. Cruise, float, drift. Coast? Coast, cruise, float, drift. Okay. Got that pretty easily. Hoagie. Hoagie, cigar. Fang. Bat. Interesting. Interesting where we're at here. Cigar. Cigar, hoagie, torpedo, baton. All sort of phallic shaped. Oh my God. Things are long. Oh my God, that was actually right. Okay. Settle, flatten, level. Wait a second. Bat, Cape, Fane, Castle, Dracula. Yep. Level, plateau. That's easy, man. What a dominant performance today. What an absolutely dominant performance, man. Jesus. What another dominant performance by me. Yet again, rising to the occasion time and time again. Unbelievable. Make some predictions for round 2 of the NHL playoffs? Sure. Absolutely. Let's see what we're cooking with. So tonight we've got Eastern Conference playoffs round 2 out in the NHL. We have the Florida Panthers versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, obviously, when it comes to Toronto, we know the pressure that comes with being the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, right? This is a franchise that's desperate for a win. This is a building where, you'd fall 1-0, 2-1, third period, you're down 2-0, 5 minutes left. You start to feel the restlessness in the crowd. Now, the thing is I love the top-end talent. I love the first shift that Florida can deploy. Of course, my guy Reinhart, 81 points this season, 39 goals. That's so difficult to match up against. He just flies. I don't know if Toronto can keep up with the speed of Florida. And of course, my guy Marner, you guys know, I've been telling you guys entering the season, 75 assists. I said, watch out, our over-under for FanDuel, 68.5 assists for Marner entering the season. I said, bang that over. That's going to be the easiest over, maybe of the entire NHL season. And fortunately, we were able to get that over, but I like him quite a bit. I'm going to go Toronto in this series. Again, I'm a little bit worried about just the feeling in the air, right, of just the restlessness in Toronto, but I'm going with Toronto early in this series. I just, I like what they've got in the goal with Woll. When you deploy 4 different goalies over the course of a season, it's a little bit scary, but I like Toronto quite a bit in this series, so I'm stamping them in. We've got the Hurricanes versus the Capitals. Look, Ovechkin's a grandpa out there. He actually might be. Is Ovechkin a grandpa? They've got Ovechkin who's still out there skating around the ice at his ripe old age. And the Hurricanes, I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going to pick the Hurricanes to win this series. I think that they, no pun intended, right? They're almost like a hurricane out there on the ice. They just fly around. They force turnovers. They force turnovers in the other end of the floor, other end of the ice. And I love their goalie. Their goalie's just been standing on his head. Their goalie, Coach Titov, has just been standing on his head lately. And a lot of times it's just who has the hottest goalie. And Coach Titov's been standing on his head. So I'm going with the Hurricanes there. Oilers versus Golden Knights. Look, what happens in the playoffs, guys? What do we say all the time in the playoffs? It's where your best players take over games. Give me the Oilers. Give me Connor McDavid. They have Connor McDavid, correct? That's him. Yeah. Give me Connor McDavid on to just kind of take over this series in a serious way. So give me the Oilers over the Golden Knights. Stars, Jets, both these teams tired after a tough 7-game series. The Jets coming off of a double overtime, absolute shocking win. They're the best team in the West this season, record-wise. But I'm looking at a Stars team that's been to the conference finals, 4 straight years. I'm going with the Stars in this one. I think they have the pedigree. I think they have the toughness. And I think that they have the depth, especially after the Mikko Rantanen trade. I think they have the depth to get it done. And that's my predictions for the second round of the NHL playoffs. Just to recap, the Stars over the Jets Oilers, Hurricanes, and the Maple Leafs. Someone mark that down. Sally, do you remember your first donation membership? Does that person still watch your streams? I'm between two people in my head. One of them, no. The other one, I think, checks in periodically. Now, I think whenever our channel became monetized, it was back when it was still kind of a mix of like NFL and NBA. And mind you, it wasn't like deep. It was just like fucking around NFL stuff. It wasn't like deep, hardcore shit. But both of the ones in my head that I think it could be were NFL people. What do you make of Luka meeting Pelinka and Redick 2 days after the season ends? Probably discuss Slovenia basketball over the summer. What do I think about a player meeting with his coach and GM? I don't know. Pretty standard run-of-the-mill stuff, I would have to assume. All right, this probably isn't going to be the longest stream, only because you want to know what's crazy is we've streamed in some capacity, including in Bleacher Report. The only time, I think in the last 3 weeks, we didn't do that was Easter. Luka playing for Slovenia every year, cooking his offseason conditioning. You guys know how I feel about that. And I, honestly, I don't even really want to get into it because people just get angry and upset, and it's not even really worth my time. It's not worth anyone's time, really. When we until Washington raises a new flag era. Is that really next week? Is the draft lottery really next week? You've been terrible when it comes to picks this year. I haven't been that bad. Shout out Slovenia. Historically, I'm actually pretty damn good at picks. Clippers did sell me, and I don't feel bad about that. They should have won that series. It's been a while since we've looked at like a Bleacher Report trade thing. Maybe we'll look at this in a second. Well, I picked the Pacers, or I picked the Cavs to lose it or win the series in my prediction sheet. But in my bracket, I did pick the Pacers. Did Luka face unfair criticism? I mean, we talked about all that stuff last week. We already talked about that. Good morning, folks. It's Monday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo to those who celebrate. 11:24 a.m. Central Standard Time. The second round of the playoffs are here. The first round is over. Golden State beat the Houston Rockets in a not-so-competitive Game 7. We had 2 Game 7s over the weekend. Neither of them are all that competitive, unfortunately. But I thought it was a pretty fun first round. I mean, you had the Knicks-Pistons series was fantastic. That was a great series, and in a lot of ways, I feel like it should have gone 7. Like, I feel like it should have gone 7 games. We deserve that as fans. But that was an incredible series. Houston-Golden State was interesting through and through. Lakers-Minnesota was, at least the games were pretty competitive most of the time. Clippers and Nuggets, Game 7 was a bit of a letdown, but that series in and of itself was incredible. So it was a good first round. It's time to move on to the second round, which, funny enough, I don't know how competitive it's really going to be. There's a couple of series that I think are going to be good. It's interesting to look at the odds for this series. Not that that tells us much, but the odds of these second round series are kind of crazy. Kind of insane. The Celtics are minus 800 to beat the Knicks. That is a massive favorite in the second round. The Thunder are minus 700 to beat the Nuggets. Massive, massive favorites. The Cavs, despite the fact that they are down 1-0, despite the fact that they no longer have home court advantage in this series, are still minus 210. So, what were they entering the game then? Like minus 500 or something like that? And the Timberwolves are minus 175 to beat the Warriors, who are plus 150. So that one's pretty close, but not that close. Has any other athlete ever owned a franchise like Steph owns the Rockets? Honestly, no. I mean, that's just torturous. Torturous. Rockets were a B-grade Jalen Green performance away from winning in 6. Well, yeah, but... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Pussy Liquor with the 199. Here we go. LeBron to Dallas. You heard it here first. Come on, LeBron. Oh, well, yeah, LeBronto clears everything. Nothing really compares to LeBronto. That was insane. Okay, let's just dive immediately right into our prediction sheet here. Where did we go wrong? I picked Houston in 7 to win the series. I mean, all of the things I thought could benefit Houston benefited them. Their size, their athleticism, the double big lineup for the majority of the series gave the Warriors fits. But my big concerns for them, their inability to generate reliable offense, Jalen Green being a disappearing act, and even Şengün being like your go-to guy offensively, also ended up being true, and that's the ultimate reason why they lost the series. So what's next for the Rockets? They'll be maybe one of the more interesting teams, at least more interesting buying teams of the offseason. They owe it to themselves. They have picks. They owe it to themselves to be aggressive in the offseason. What does that look like? I'm not sure. For them, I think their main focus, I don't love the KD fit necessarily. Now, if it's 50 cents on the dollar for KD, okay, we can talk about that. But it's just, KD helps them out tremendously, but he's old and you have to pay him, and you're just accelerating your timeline so quickly. Right? Pussy Liquor at the 199. Is Texas Tech worth going to? I mean, is that on your list of colleges? Yeah, it's a good college if you're interested in it. Sure. Booker should be there. I mean, if Giannis is actually available, let's not try to overthink this. If Giannis is available, he should be priority number 1 for Houston, right? But if it feels as though Giannis might be going somewhere else, or maybe Giannis doesn't want to go to Houston, whatever the case may be, you need to try and get Devin Booker. I know what they've said about D-Book. I know what D-Book said about staying in Phoenix. I know what Phoenix has said about keeping D-Book. But you need to be calling them every single day. You need to be calling them every single second of the day to try and make that work. What does Booker do for you, though? I don't think he's a championship first option. They need a guard and somebody who can at least generate some type of offense consistently. I mean, look at what happened. Fred VanVleet caught fire towards the tail end of the series, and they forced a game 7 after being down 3-1, due in large part to the fact that Fred VanVleet just gave them some consistent offense. Anything that involves trading Amin Thompson, I would be very hesitant on. Now, if it's for Giannis, that's a different conversation. But I'm hesitant to trade Amin Thompson for really anyone. But Jalen Green, let's get off of him. I'd be hesitant to trade Şengün for pretty much anyone as well. Wouldn't it be better to have a player on the Rockets recruit Booker? It's going to take Booker requesting a trade for the Suns to want to trade him. Yeah, I mean, that's what it'd have to boil down to. If you're Houston, you go for Ja Morant. Absolutely. You'd go for Ja Morant. Yes. Absolutely. Any guard that could be on the market, you're making a call about. I'm making a call about Trae Young if I'm them. You need some type of offense because that's not going to cut it. Now, I don't know. With Trae Young, was that someone that the the Rockets would want? Probably not, if we're just being truthful. Van Vliet really hustled the league. He's not a first or second option, but got paid like one. Well, that's just taking advantage of a market. The Rockets knew they needed a guard. Kevin Porter Jr. was their point guard. They needed a guard. Fred VanVleet was available. They had the cap space. Sometimes you just get lucky. I just don't get why the Pacers are trading him hard. I mean, I don't really get it. I've yet to hear somebody explain it to me in a way that makes sense. But yes, obviously, Fred VanVleet's getting paid too much money. So it'll be a very interesting offseason for Houston. They have to do something, and I'm interested to see what it is. Because in a lot of ways, they should keep their head held high. They were the second seed. Losing in round one as a second seed is disappointing, obviously. But they took a huge leap forward this year. Amin Thompson has the goods. Shane Good, I thought, improved so much defensively this season that you feel pretty good about that. Yeah, Jalen Green. At least there's some finality there. Like now that there's no waiting for Jalen Green. It's over. Like there's no, well, let's maybe in the play, maybe like that's done. The Jalen Green experience can end, right? Jabari was, I mean, how many minutes did Jabari get last night? Like 12? I really liked what I saw from Jabari Smith in this junior in this series. And yeah, they're a good competitive team. They need to do something. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be like the Giannis move, which absolutely will be on the table for them, or something maybe a little bit smaller, or what we might think is smaller, for maybe a sort of second tier, third tier guard that could be on the market. They just need something, right? They need something, and they'll do something. It'll be interesting to see what it is. But Golden State advances, we'll talk about them here in a bit. What other ones? Clippers, yeah. Clippers lose Game 7, get dominated, missed that series as well. Yeah, they were just, Harden looked gassed by the end of the series. Christian Brown did a great job on him, but Harden disaster. Don't really know what the Clippers do. Talked about it a little bit on playback, but it's just like, what do they do? I'm not sure. I don't know what the pathway for them is. I mean, they exceeded expectations this year, I would say. Entering the season, I thought they'd miss the play-in tournament. I didn't think they would be very good. And they were very good. They again, in Clippers fashion, they had the stretch during the prolonged stretch during the regular season where they were the best team in basketball or top 3 team in basketball, whatever it was, and everyone gets sucked back into them. Because you look at their team, and it is like, this should work in the playoffs. There's no reason why this wouldn't work in the postseason. You've got Kawhi, yeah, Harden, but can we just get something out of Harden? Like anything other than shit? No, you couldn't get anything other than shit from Harden, unfortunately. Kawhi, Clippers era got to be one of the most disappointing in history. Clippers have yet to win a finals, right? I mean, they've only made one conference finals, I believe. And hilariously enough, it was Kawhi was out with an ACL injury, and Paul George dragged him there, basically. The 5-out offense against the Jazz. Remember that? The Jazz just had no answer at all for it. Would any team want Kawhi? Oh yeah. I mean, there's no blowing it up for the Clippers, I don't think. I saw people ask, like, what could you get for Harden? What could you get for Kawhi? Why would they do that, though? They don't have their picks till like 2031. What's the point of tanking? And Harden's market would be interesting. Let's say Harden was available for a trade. And what's his contract looking like? I mean, we're in the 40s, right? Easily. That's somebody you could look at and say, Houston reunion? Remember, we thought that was a possibility a few years ago. $36 million. That's not that bad. But no, they've got no incentive to be asked, and I don't think they'll trade Harden unless maybe he asks for one, which he has a player option, and Are we really going to do the Harden demands a trade saga again? Again? Which revenge was better, Westbrook or Ratnan? Oh, easily Ratnan. Hat trick in the third period of a game 7, easily him. Kawhi, absolutely. Teams would talk themselves into Kawhi Leonard. Absolutely. Now, what would the return be? Probably nothing crazy. And again, if you're the Clippers, I mean, what's the point? We just opened up a new building. We don't have our draft capital. If we trade Kawhi to a team, that team has to scrap together $50 million worth of contracts. They're not going to give us a ton of draft cap. Like, what are we doing at that point? So I don't foresee anything crazy happening with the Clippers this offseason, but it'll be interesting to see how they try to build along the margins, because that's probably what they'll do. So yeah, we misread that. Damn, man. I was really confident in the Clippers. I knew the Lakers were in for a tough series. And I knew that the Rockets Golden State Warriors series was going to probably be a toss-up. Chances of Clippers trading for Cooper? Flag? Very low. I mean, how would they even get up to number 1? I'm telling you guys right now, do you guys think there's an outside chance? What do you guys think the chances are that Cooper Flag is a member of the Milwaukee Bucks next season? Who didn't we do this already? Who would have to win the lottery and be willing to trade that pick for Giannis? Rockets could win the lottery. They have the Suns pick. Would they trade that pick for Giannis? I really don't think so. No, the Spurs would not do it. The Spurs would keep that. Some shit I could see Philly doing, honestly. But I think they would keep the pick, though, too. I don't think any team. Only Nico? Yeah, honestly, if I had to rank the lottery teams, who would be most likely to do that? Yeah, I think Dallas could absolutely do that. I think Dallas would entertain that greatly. Kings don't have their pick. Atlanta does, unless it's protected, which I don't think it is. How funny, sad, depending on your perspective, is it that the Avs former player keep beating them in game 7s for the Stars? Well, it's great for me as a Stars fan. All right, so Indiana, Cleveland. Indiana takes game 1 in Cleveland. We already mentioned this. Indiana is still huge underdogs in this series. But they win game 1, 121-112. How does that change where we feel? After game 1, I'm still going Cleveland in 6. I thought this would be a competitive series, and I think Cleveland in 6 is still probably on the table. My confidence has gone down. Now, Darius Garland's injury is concerning for me, right? They need him back desperately, especially later in the game. You saw how stagnant their offense got, how reliant on like Donovan Mitchell hero ball it got, and Ty Jerome trying to bail them out over and over and over down the stretch. But, look, Pacers shot 53% from the three-point line. Cavs shot 23%. Is that the whole story? No, because the Pacers generated a ton of open threes. That's what they do. Thought the Cavs overhelped way too much. I think you just got to let your bigs live on an island. And they did later in the game. And I thought Jared Allen did a decent enough job holding his own. Halliburton's hit a few tough step backs. Nembhard hit a couple tough step backs. That guy's a fucking playoff demon. Nembhard is. I think you just gotta kind of live with some of that stuff instead of just giving up these open threes over and over and over again. Because everyone does this with the Pacers the last 2 years, where they'll shoot 50% from 3 in a series, and everyone will be like, oh, they won't do that again. It's like, no, they probably will, actually. They almost certainly will do it again. They shoot incredibly well in the playoffs. Man, Pat McAfee show's off to a hot start. It's completely silent because I'm sure they're saying some crazy shit. So if this game happens in game 3, game 4, we look at it differently. But since it is game 1, we overreact to it. I still think the Cavs will win the series. But I thought heading into it, it would be a competitive series. And I still feel that way, absolutely. Pacers are the greatest Satan soldiers. I think I really like this Pacers team. They are very good. They are very good. In my bracket, I picked them to make the conference finals. So this isn't that surprising to me. But yeah, it's funny seeing people talk about this game and stuff. It's like, you know, Darius Garland not playing is a pretty big fucking deal. What do the Pacers have to add to be favorites next season? Like championship favorites? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if is it even possible. What would have to happen for the Pacers to enter the season as championship favorites? Is there anything? Even if they get Giannis, I don't know if Vegas would put them as the favorites. But they'll do something. This has been telegraphed now for a long time. They'll do something. They have a lot of guys, probably too many guys on their team that can play serious minutes. They have to consolidate their assets, and they've got guys that are due for contracts very soon. That makes their cap situation a little bit murky. So everyone has said that Indy will have a busy summer. We'll see what that looks like. I'm assuming it's going to be upgrading their team significantly. So that'll be fun to watch because they're already a really fucking good team. But I still think the Cavs will win this series. But I think it'll be fun. Knicks, Boston. Yeah, I still feel Boston in 5 here. Truth be told. Maybe similar to the Pacers Celtics series last year. Just in terms of the Celtics win in 4, right? The Celtics swept that series, didn't they? Was that a sweep? Or did the Pacers get one? Swept, yeah. It might be one of those where it's 5 games, but it was close. They were close games. Do the Knicks fire Tibbs or do they lose in 5? Great question. Great question. I think if it's a non-competitive series, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's absolutely possible that Tibbs gets fired. If it's like, 5 games, but you were right there in most of them, maybe you talk yourself into a few of these bounces go away, or maybe if Brunson's ankle wasn't bothering him. Then maybe they keep him. But I'll tell you what, one thing. I know Knicks fans are very, very frustrated with Thibodeau, with Tibbs. Just from what I've seen on the internet. Do the Knicks fire Rick Brunson? I would have to guess no. Now, that's actually an interesting question. If Tibbs gets fired, do the Knicks say, hey, whoever's next, you got to keep Rick on your staff? Tibbs goes to Phoenix and makes Beal play 46 minutes. Is that her only coach opening still? Is that the only coach opening left in the NBA? Taylor Jenkins or Mike Malone fit in New York? I don't know, man. My thing with coaches is just like, let's be real and honest. Nobody really knows what coaches are going to be good, what coaches need to be going where. Like Will Hardy's 6-year extension today. Congratulations to him. Will Hardy was a complete and total, I wouldn't say unknown because his name was pretty hot in coaching circles, but you never know if those guys are going to be good or bad. I thought almost everyone thought Budenholzer was going to be good in Phoenix. He was a disaster. So nobody really knows coaches. Random fun fact, Taylor Jenkins is from Arlington. DFW, stand up. Okay. Let's just dive into it. Nuggets, Denver versus OKC. Game 1 tonight. Nuggets coming off of a tough 7-game series. Thunder have been resting for like a week and a half at this point. So it is a little crazy to me, the market of this. Thunder minus 700. Nuggets plus 500. I mean, gigantic favorites the Thunder are. And I find that even more interesting because you know how Vegas operates. They put lines based off of how they expect people to bet. And I think that's even factoring in the people who are saying, well, the Thunder are inexperienced. The Nuggets have Jokic. I'm going to bet on the Nuggets. This tells me Vegas thinks this is even wider of a gap than this. The amount of confidence people have in the Thunder is terrifying me. Well, I'm going to terrify you even more. I think OKC should dominate this series straight up. I look at it after watching, I don't know, a ginormous amount of Thunder games this year, watching Denver in the first round, watching Denver all season long. I know they had 2-2 season split series. One of those games was on opening night. One of them, the Thunder on the second night of a back-to-back. Like, I don't, like, regular season stuff. I mean, what can you take away from it realistically? Right? I really struggle to get to a place where I think Denver can not only win the series, but really make it competitive. I really do struggle to get there. OKC is inexperienced. Well, everyone's inexperienced until you're experienced. Nobody gets there until they get there. Like, I don't like doing that shit. I think this is a statement series for the Thunder. Not, the Thunder beating the Nuggets in and of itself won't be a statement because you're supposed to beat them. You're huge favorites. You're a better team, whatever the case may be. I think it's a statement series because I do think, unless something goes terribly wrong, the Thunder should dominate this series. Or maybe dominate's a strong word, but they should win this series in fairly comfortable fashion. That I think people by the end of it will be like, oh, fuck, the Thunder are actually like legitimately good. Because for some reason, people still have their heads buried in the sand with this team, and I do not understand it. Have we not watched this team all year? Have you not watched this Thunder team this season? They are absurdly good. I've been saying it for months. There is not a team in the West that is even close to the Thunder. It's just the truth. There's not a team that's close to them, okay? The Nuggets, make no mistake about it, the Nuggets winning this series would be absolutely fucking shocking. Now, that's not to say they can't. What would have to happen? Jamal would have to have an incredible series. Like, the Jokic stuff, obviously. Jamal Murray would have to have an unbelievable series for the Nuggets to win this one. I'm talking turning back the clock, bubble series. I mean, just dominating the Lou Dort matchup, and then Case and Wallet, and then Caruso. Like, just this long list of unbelievable perimeter defenders the Thunder can throw out. But like, okay, hey, somehow Jamal Murray is just dominating Lou Dort in the series. Let's rotate in Case and Wallace. Let's rotate in Caruso. All right, let's just say Jamal Murray goes crazy, right? Jokic has to play best player in the world level. I'm not worried about that. I think that'll happen already. But then on top of that, you're going to need Peyton Watson to knock down threes at a pretty reliable clip. Aaron Gordon, which, he's hit threes all season long consistently. Russell Westbrook, been great from the corners, was just great in that series against the Clippers. He's going to have to hit shots reliably. Can't turn the ball over. Christian Brown's going to have to consistently knock down threes. It's just like the pathway to get there for the Nuggets is just like so many things have to go right. If the Nuggets win and the Thunder blow up the whole team, that would literally make for the Luka trade. My summer will be good. Peyton Watson revenge series. There you go. There you go. Fuck OKC. I mean, I know you guys hate the Thunder, but I'm just here to tell you. It would be utterly surprising. It would be shocking to me. And I'll say this, and I've told my Thunder fans that my Thunder friend fans this. My friends that are Thunder fans, I told them this. This would be alarming to me if the Thunder if this goes like 7 and the Thunder have to claw their way to a series win. It would be a little concerning to me. It would be a little bit alarming to me. The Thunder are deeper. They're more athletic. They're just flat out better offensively and defensively. Maybe you can talk me into the Nuggets being better offensively, especially over this recent stretch the Nuggets have had. But defensively, it's not even close. Please, any team but OKC, man. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, really. Thunder has the privilege of the ability to win with SGA having a bad game. We said the same thing about the Clippers last series. So, yes, we did say that the Clippers were a better team than the Nuggets, which I did believe. The Clippers had more things to throw at the Nuggets. And they still lost the series, right? The Thunder are different entirely. Like, the Thunder are a much better team than the Clippers are. And hey, look, here's a thing that the Nuggets did in that series, right? Every team does this in the playoffs. But it was, we're going to be willing to help. We're going to be ready to double. We're going to be ready to trap and blitz these ball screens. We're going to double team Kawhi. Hey, Chris, Kendrick, Nunn, done. You're going to have to hit threes consistently. Like we are, not only are we not going to even like close out, not only are we going to help off of you, but we're not even going to fucking guard you. And Chris Dunn became unplayable because he couldn't capitalize on that. Hey, Derrick Jones Jr., same thing. We're not even going to put a body on you. We're not even going to defend you. Couldn't make him pay, unfortunately. Even Bogey, who like throughout his career has been a good three-point shooter, but has been terrible from three this year. And Bogey had a pretty solid series. But even Bogey, you're going to have to beat us from three. We will help off of you. We will double team off of you. We do not give a fuck, really. And he couldn't even make him pay. The Thunder don't really have that. The Thunder can have lineups out there where everyone is either capable of shooting or attacking that space. Nobody even knows if Harden and Kawhi even want to win. I wouldn't take any value on the Nuggets beating them. Well, that was an impressive series win for the Nuggets. I'm not trying to take away anything from them. And yeah, hey man. Russell Westbrook had an incredible series against the Clippers. Do you think the Thunder watched that and were like, oh shit, we gotta tweak our game plan on Russ because he just had an incredible series? Do you think that's what's gonna happen? Do you think they look at Russell Westbrook shooting 42% from three in that series and say, all right, we're gonna have to close out hard on Russ? And I highly doubt it. Nuggets should just let SGA go one-on-one, no doubles, put Peyton Watson and Brown on him. He'll even get tired if you make him play hero ball. If for us is this year's PJ Washington, OKC fans are going to be very confused. No, like Aaron Gordon would be this year's PJ Washington. And Aaron Gordon's better than PJ Washington. But it'll be Aaron Gordon is attacking those mismatches, which we have seen when these two have played each other. Russ Revenge Tour. I mean, a Russ Revenge series would be hilarious. It would be pretty damn funny. I'm going to give... So also, Nuggets are not ready for Lug Dort. That's right. I'm going to give the Nuggets one game. I'm going to go OKC in 5. I think this could be a sweep. I really do. OKC in 5. Again, I would be just so shocked if the Thunder lose this series. I'd have to rethink everything. Every Thunder fan I know is just like, Oh no, man! Like I think 7, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you fucking think that deep down. There's no way deep down you think that. Dr. Bias, do it jiggle, if so twerk. Sweep or in 5 is wild. Honestly, how is it wild? The Thunder are minus 700 favorites. Do you realize how crazy that is? This series finishing in under 5.5 games is minus 170. That's huge. Vegas is terrified about money on the Thunder. I'm going OKC in 5. I'll also factor in that, yes, the Thunder defensively, we know how nasty they are. Part of their game plan is we're just going to make life living hell for ball handlers. Sometimes that means doubling. Sometimes that means doubling off of shooters. So I'll factor in a game where like Peyton Watson hits 4 threes and Christian Brown goes, 7 of 11 from 3. They split the regular season. I mean, I don't. One of them was opening night of the fucking season, a game the Thunder won. So I'm wanting to be fair there. A game the Thunder won. Opening night of the season. One of them the Thunder on the second night of a back-to-back. Like I don't know, man. I just the regular season stuff to me. It's just, what am I really supposed to take away? I bet 100 from you against $1 from me that the Nuggets will win in 6. How does that make? Why would I do that? I bet $1. I bet $100 to win $1. Why on earth would I do that? How does that make any sense? So, the opening night, I mean, dude, opening night is just opening night of the fucking season. Like, what am I supposed to take away from opening night of the season? Thunder dominated that game. Then the Nuggets won the second game in November. No Hartenstein. Hartenstein hadn't made his debut yet. And to be fair, no Aaron Gordon in that game for the Nuggets. Or Jamal Murray. Then in March, the Thunder dominate the Nuggets. And then they play the following night, back-to-back. They play back-to-back games. And the Nuggets put up 140 points. Like, okay. Nuggets shot 56% from 3. I don't know. Regular season stuff is just so wonky. Kneels down. Dr. Bias, please let me see what you're working with. Dude, I mean, this aggressive on a Monday morning? You know? Like a Monday morning we're doing this? Seriously, buy me dinner first at least. You are underrating the Nuggets a lot. Maybe. I think a lot of people are we saw this at times last year with the Celtics. People are always very hesitant to go in on the young team, the team that hasn't proven themselves yet. People are always hesitant. I think that's what you're seeing with the Thunder. I absolutely think people are burying their head in the sand when it comes to this Thunder team. 100% I think that. I think people are vastly underrating how good they are underestimating how good they are. It took the Nuggets 7 games to beat the Clippers. Why in the world do people think it'll be easier to beat the Thunder? Because people don't like the Thunder and people don't want to believe in the Thunder. Make no mistake about it. And I want to be very clear. If the Thunder do not win this series, something has gone catastrophically wrong for OKC. And it's time to sit back and reevaluate everything that's going on. Sure, they're young. They're young. They're still, they were a historically great regular season team. Losing in the second round, home court advantage against a team that you are vastly superior than, a team that you are better than, a team that you are deeper than, would be horrible. I agree the Thunder should dominate the West, but the Celtics are a different beast. The Thunder are insanely deep, but their star talent gap between them and the Celtics is massive. No, I mean, the Celtics, a final series is different. I don't think there's a team in the West that are close to the Thunder. If the finals really is OKC versus Celtics, I might end up on life support. Again, this is my stance on this series, and we'll put a bow on it and we'll move on. This is a statement series for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not that beating this Nuggets team when you're a minus 700 favorite will be a statement to anybody. There's still plenty of people I've seen that do not believe in this Thunder team for whatever reason. It's a statement because I think they're going to do it in such a convincing fashion that people are going to say, oh, shit. Okay, we are here. We're here with this Thunder team. I was taking a little bit easy. I was worried about them, but we're here. We're not fucking around. That's where I think we're at. And I'll be honest. If the Thunder lose this series, it'll be a catastrophic fucking failure. And if the Thunder have to claw their way to a victory in this series, I will be looking at them differently. Okay? That's where we're at. OKC is just that good. It's not like disrespect to the Nuggets or Jokic. I think the Thunder are that good. They have so many different ways they can beat you in a basketball game. Would last year's Mavs team still beat this current Thunder team? No, probably not. Probably not, no. Your $100 versus me saying, oh shit. Yeah, that's a good bet for me. That makes a lot of sense. What a pro wants. Maybe it was last year's Mavs roster with the 100% Doncic. Maybe. What's Denver's recipe for success? Genuinely asking. Thunder have so many defenders to throw at them. It would be a Jokic all-time great, like, oh my God, is this a top 3 player of all times type of series? And it would be, I think it would be more so, yeah, J-Dub struggled. Chet shot 27% from 3. And Jamal Murray, despite the fact that we have Lou Dort we can throw at him, we have Alex Caruso we can throw at him, we have Cason Wallace we can throw at him. We can put Shea on him in stretches. If we could put J-Dub on him in stretches if we want to. Despite all of that, Jamal averaged 28 points. Okay, but if it was Clippers versus OKC, you'd have a game 7? No, I would not. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, and Chet and J-Dub were incredible in the Grizzlies series. I mean, the Nuggets are much better than the Grizzlies. But also, I will say this. People are treating that Grizzlies team like they were a horrible, ugly piece of shit team, which by the end of the season, they obviously had started to decline greatly and were just kind of a mess by the end of the season. But it's funny. I saw people were like, the Cavs beating the Heat. It's like, dude, the Heat are actual dog shit. Okay? Like, the Heat are actually fucking terrible. But everyone's like, dude, the Cavs. And I like the Cavs. The Cavs. It's like, dude, the Heat actually suck. They're actually bad. The Grizzlies, I mean, for a playoff team, they're not great. And yes, the Thunder are always going to mop the floor with the Grizzlies. If MPJ dropped his pants on the court and started throwing cheeks mid-game, would that change your mind about the series? Yeah, that would, actually. They had no Jalen Wells, their best defender, and no Brandon Clark. I mean, yeah, they were hurt. A lot of teams are hurt in the playoffs. The Thunder swept them. I mean, what am I supposed to do with any of this information? The Thunder swept them. That series was never going to be competitive. You are underrating Minnesota versus OKC. I haven't even talked about Minnesota versus OKC. I'm going OKC in 5. Confidence meter, 94%. All right. Then our other Western Conference series starts tomorrow, right? Denver in 7. Does that series start tomorrow? So another one of these 2-day breaks for a team that went to a game 7. My God, the Timberwolves are 6.5 point favorites. Like none of these Vegas does not think any of these series are going to be that close. That's kind of crazy to me. Minnesota better focus on the Warriors before worrying about the Thunder. Yeah, and I'm sure they will. So this one's a fun series, I think. I haven't put too much thought into it, so I'm just going off the fucking top of my head, gut feeling. I might update this before the game starts tomorrow. But Warriors versus Timberwolves. Rob, welcome to the Slightly Delusional Club. Now the Timberwolves they have home court in this series. But they have the advantage of they took care of business in 5 games while the Warriors had to go to 7. That matters to me because the Warriors are an older team. That Steph's dealing with that thumb injury, although I'm not sure how much that really affects things because he's still Steph Curry. Jimmy, we know, is dealing with that back injury. You've got an older team that just had to go 7 games against a very physical, annoying Houston team. And now they're going to be going up against another very physical, annoying, athletic, big team in Minnesota. I just immediately, my initial gut feeling about the series, I struggle to get to how Minnesota does not win this series, to be honest with you. So one of the things I was noticing last night, and Amin Thompson had a great game last night, but one of the things I was noticing is, man, that it's different, obviously, but man, the Warriors just don't have like these very quick twitch, quick guards or perimeter players. Obviously, Amin Thompson doesn't have a jump shot. Once he gets into the paint, it's just let's hope for the best here. But he pretty much got where he wanted to go almost every time. Anthony Edwards, I think, should have an incredible series. Ant should have an incredible series. We saw the size of the Rockets really give the Warriors problems, right? I think probably similar things will happen in this series. The problem for the Warriors is like the Timberwolves don't have Jalen Green. You know? Like Jalen Green's not walking through that door. Anthony Edwards is. That's really the problem there. If you got a B series from Jalen Green, the Rockets are probably playing right now. Oh, we'll get a good amount of fights. This is the Draymond versus Gobert. We've seen it before, but Gobert was a little baby. So we'll have Draymond versus Gobert in a playoff series. Minnesota loses this series if Randall reverts to Knicks playoff Randall, and if Ant commits a lot of turnovers, or if Steph goes God mode. Well, in defense of Julius Randle, yes, he was god-awful in those Knicks series. And yes, that's a reputation that has followed him. But he was also battling through injuries in those series. And that was a completely different Knicks team. Like, literally, completely and totally different. Is anyone even still on the Knicks that was on those teams besides, like, Mitchell Robinson? I'm trying to think. Draymond turning into John Jones this series? That's possible. Randall has improved his shot diet, and he used to take way more contested middies and threes instead of going inside, which he does way more now. He uses his size better. Yeah, I mean, Julius Randle was incredible in that series against the Lakers. Incredible. Brunson was on one of those teams. That's right, yeah. First year of Brunson. Nas Reed's averaging 20 in this series. I'm taking the Warriors in 6. My only argument is Wardell, Steph, and Curry. Yeah, I'm going Minnesota. And I'll go 6, I think. Parth with the $4.99. XLNC fan club will never lose him in is simply chosen by God. We putting VC into the midi this summer. Hell yeah. VC in the mid. VC's going in the mid-range shot. All right, I like that. Would you trade Gafford and Clay for Jalen Green? I don't want anything to do with the Jalen Green experience. No. I'm going Minnesota in 6. Cumbucket will average a staggering triple single. Too harsh on Jalen Green? Yeah, but I mean, like, we've done the Jalen Green shit, and I've fallen for it year after year. We've done the Jalen Green thing. I'm trading Gafford, who I think is a valuable player, and Clay for an expensive, very inconsistent guard who's bad defensively, needs the ball in his hands, not a great decision maker, not efficient whatsoever, and we just saw in the playoffs was terrible. No thanks. Just not interested in that. Betting on the upside, that's someone else can bet on the upside. If I'm a team like Dallas that presumably wants to win, somebody else, the Nets can bet on the upside, right? Let the Wizards bet on the upside. I'm not doing it. And look, I'm not. It's possible. He's incredibly athletic. That the skills that he does possess with the athleticism, yeah, that's a player that could blossom into a good player someday. It is, if it gets there. It's not impossible. Now, there's a lot of historical context that'll tell you a guy who's been that inefficient for 4 years is not going to become a player who's efficient. I'd rather have Corey Seager on my basketball team than Jalen Green. Corey Seager's body could not play basketball, unfortunately. I love Corey Seager, but Corey Seager could not play basketball. That guy gets 6 hamstring strains a year. Hammies are cooked. I'll go Minnesota in 6. Confidence meter 82%. It's just really interesting to me. Like, Vegas doesn't think any of these series are going to be competitive. Even the series that's already 1-0, Vegas doesn't think is going to be competitive. I'm more confident in a Minnesota sweep rather than an OKC one. What's the reasoning for that? Jokic? Are we due for another major star injury like Dame Achilles? Well, knock on wood. I hope not. Typically, there's 1 or 2 big-time star injuries a year. Seems like matchups around 1 were more evenly matched. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Jokic and Golden State Warriors, no size and cooked legs. I still feel like we're going to get at least one game in this series where the Timberwolves shoot 14% from three and Ant scores 24 on 27 shots. And we're like, what the fuck was that game? Like, why was he taking those shots? Like, he hasn't taken those shots all playoffs. Like, we're due one of those. That's low-key kind of where we were headed in Game 5 if the Lakers won that game. Look at LeBron's tweet. Jalen Green is the Leote of basketball. No, Spencer Dinwiddie was the Leote of basketball. LeBron 11 minutes ago. Unfortunately, because of my knee injury I sustained at the end of the season, I won't be able to attend the Met Gala in New York tonight, as so many people have been asking and congratulating me on. Hate to miss an historical event. My beautiful, powerful queen will be there holding the castle down as she has always done. No Met Gala for the GOAT. Because of my knee injury, guys. Which, remember, I sustained in the final game. Sally, who's the player you would trade the 11th pick for? I haven't looked into the draft enough to really know the answer to that. It's time to start taking off-season shit seriously. I was thinking about this yesterday. It's time to start taking off-season seriously because this happened last year where the Mavs from the finals, obviously I was so invested in that. It's like, I'm not doing any off-season stuff till the finals are over. And then it was like the finals in. It's like, okay, well, the draft's in 5 days and free agency starts next week. It's like, oh, fuck. Need Luka to say something similar about missing the grand opening of the new Popeyes. Oh, that's not funny. Come on. Come on. Due to my unfortunate back injury, I will not be at In-N-Out Burger tonight. That's fucked up, man. Come on. Come on, that's fucked up, dude. Luke is in Slovenia today. No American food. For 5 months, I cheered. You just wheat beer. Just beer straight from the fucking cornfields. Lakers fans turned on Luka quick. Is that a surprise at all? I mean, we told you guys this was going to happen. Luka's not their guy. He will never be. That's just the reality. We can't look at the Wolves with Lakers tinted glasses. The Lakers were ass and still had a chance if they could close their fourth quarters. Well, part of the reason why they couldn't close their fourth quarters was because the Timberwolves' defensive intensity over the course of a game. And also, I mean, I'll counter that by saying one of the big pushbacks against the Timberwolves is how they close out games in their fourth quarter performances. It was the reason why I picked against them. Even though I did think that series was going to be close and competitive. And yet they showed that maybe there's a leap that has been taken. That we can close these games out now. Ant can close these games out now. Maybe he doesn't shoot well, but he's not committing stupid-ass turnovers that cost us the game. Think about Game 2, Minnesota Mavs last year, Western Conference Finals. Nick got so much shit on his lockdown video, though, saying Nico was right about a few things. Wait, which video is that? I want to read the comments. Which episode was that? Saw someone say RFK should play that rookie year skinny Luka vid at congressional hearings. He clickbaited the fuck out. Nico Harrison was right. Uh-oh. Nico Harrison was right. Luka Doncic trade vindicated by Los Angeles Lakers elimination. Anybody falling for the title believing it's true is an idiotic person. Luka literally played the most minutes in the playoffs. How are injuries a problem with Luka? Hey, isn't Matt in here right now? Matt, are you in here right now? Some of you who are probably in here currently. Nick is not a Luka hater, but I don't feel like he ever really liked him that much. I mean, Nick definitely liked Luka. Into the slightly verse we go. I don't like the well, Luka played like the most minutes in the playoffs argument. Okay, cool. How did he do in fourth quarter of games? He played the most minutes. How did that go? How was he in those minutes in the end of games? I think I commented about 1,000 times defending Luka. Clickbait, it is beneath you, Nick. Clickbait's not beneath anybody on YouTube, unfortunately. Is it a hot take to say Nuggets really should still be in the playoffs? I don't see a world where the series is competitive. OKC in 5-6 maximum. I did OKC in 5. And I think 4 is on the table, but I'll give the Nuggets a game. Yeah, I'm not doing this convo again. I don't care. I've seen it all. Let's look at this. As I mentioned, this always happens in the playoffs. Offseason creeps up on you so quickly. And it's like, I'll look into offseason stuff once it gets here. And then it's like the season ends and the draft's in 5 days and then free agency's in a week. Like it happens so quickly. And by all accounts, this is going to be a crazy offseason. One of my predictions for 2025 was that it was going to be a historic year of player movement. Now, that was obviously before the Luka trade. And yeah, I think factoring in the Luka trade, I think we can comfortably say this will probably be one of the craziest years of player movement the NBA has ever seen. So let's dive into this. Blockbuster NBA trades for teams ready to risk it all. I need to stop predicting things. Why? I was right. Now, did the monkey paw curl? Did I manifest something into the universe? Maybe, but I was correct. Slightly, would you trade Luka for Giannis? What, if I'm the Lakers or if I'm the Mavs? If you were still on the Mavs, well, I mean, if you were going to trade Luka no matter what, yes, I'd much rather have Giannis. But why the fuck would the Bucks do that? All right, let's get into it. Let's fire up the trade machine then and project how a handful of these mega deals might go down. Given the payrolls are in flux, that's really what it is. Teams are so scared of the aprons. Pistons tab Zion as their Cade co-star. All right, before I even look at the package, Zion to the Pistons. Okay. I can kind of get there, actually. Now, obviously, you'd be taking a sizable risk, although I don't know how expensive Zion's going to be on the trade market. When he played this year, I thought he looked fantastic. That's a really fun running partner next to Cade. I think him and Cade would play fantastic alongside of each other. I would like this quite a bit, actually. I'm in on this. I think that's the kind of risk that the Pistons should take. Now, if it's at the cost of a Sarr and multiple picks and Ivy or something, that might be a little bit too rich for my blood. Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, Clintman, and 1 first-round pick. Oh. Jaden Ivey, who was showing a lot of flashes this year before that devastating injury. Toby was good for them, but that's a contract. I know there's people who like Bobby Clintman, but I don't know. And top 3 protected pick. Okay, so yeah, if I'm the Pistons, of course, for sure I would do this, and 100 times out of 100. Zion, Asar, Duran stinks. Yeah, you'd have some spacing problems there, but it's more so Cade and Zion being my two guys moving forward. Now, why would the Pelicans do this? Ivy and 1 first-round pick. At that point, would you rather just not keep the Pelican? Would you just rather not keep Zion at that point? You know? Asar, Zion, and Duran spacing is too nasty, man. Well, it's not like Ivy's spacing the floor yet. Zion's stock has fallen quite a bit, but it's fallen to the point where it's like, why even bother trading him? They want to wash their hands. All right, I could see that. Let's see what they say. They are 6 years into the Williamson era. That's crazy, man. 6 fucking years? Really? Man, time flies. 2 playoff trips, 0 postseason series wins, 2 coaching changes, ahead of the front office firing, and some notable costly trades that haven't panned out. And we all know what they say about doing the same thing over and over and expecting a new result. So wasn't the part of the thing with firing David Griffin, and maybe I'm misremembering this, but wasn't part of it was they wanted Joe Dumars to trade Zion? Was that not a report that came out? Am I misremembering? With David Griffin and Brandon being out and a strong lottery pick in hand, conditions could be perfect to start resetting the roster around someone other than Williamson. This incoming trade package would help facilitate that process. Okay. Okay. I mean, Ivy was taking some pretty big leaps forward this year. Absolutely. I'd be interested in that now that I'm thinking about it. I kind of like this quite a bit. I think I'd do this for both teams the more I think about it. The more I think about this, the more I'd be interested in it. Zion to the Mavs. Nico will love Zion's conditioning. That's a good one to start. Rockets fix their offense with Durant mega deal. All right. What does this look like? Kevin Durant for Fred VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, 25 first, 27 first, 28 first. So 3 first-round picks, Fred VanVleet and Cam Whitmore. None of those picks being the Suns. When do Suns want at least one of their picks back? Like, if the Suns are doing business with the Rockets, are they not asking for their picks back? Rockets really do need someone who can score, but they'd have to trade Jalen Green for KD. Luka should go to the Rockets. All right, so, I mean, for Houston, Fred, Cam Whitmore, and 3 picks, and we'd still have picks to make other moves elsewhere, and Jalen Green's contract to maybe go out and get another point guard. I think that's really doable if you're Houston. I would say yes to that. If I'm Phoenix, now let's be very clear about something. I've been saying this for months. The KD return is not going to be very big. Like, it's probably going to be disappointing. It's going to be an underwhelming return. And this is why I've been saying if the Mavs are really interested, they probably have the best package, all things considered. Because the Suns are going to want pieces that help them remain competitive and first-round picks that they can use to do other shit, whether that's get off of Beal's contract or whatever the case may be. I don't think Pelinka is actually good. He should go anywhere but stay in LA. Other Texas teams, Orlando, make a lot of sense. I mean, Luka is going to be on the Lakers next year. I'll tell you that much. No way they keep Green. Well, I'm imagining in this scenario, you could turn around. You still have picks at your disposal to trade. You could turn around and trade Jalen Green and picks for other things. Jalen Green is kind of a fraud. I don't think there's kinda about it. So for the Suns, Fred VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, and 3 picks. Oh, wait. They're saying 25 their own. Okay. All right. So their own is being the Suns picks. So the Suns are getting back their 25 pick, their 27 pick, and a lottery protected pick from the Rockets, I'm assuming. So they are getting a few of their picks back, including the one this year that is a lottery pick. Top 10 in the lottery. Okay. I think the Suns would do that. I think you'd want like some better players in return, maybe like a young guy, but getting your own picks back, including one that's going to be top 10 this year. Fred VanVleet can play for you 100%. And an interesting young guy in Cam Whitmore. Suns don't need more guards. Well, I mean, Beal's not in your plans moving forward. Tyus Jones is a free agent, and he's not in your plans moving forward. He was fucking terrible this year. Fred could play for them, absolutely. Take a shot at Cam Whitmore, a top 10 pick. Yeah. The Suns would do this 100%. This really isn't that bad for the Rockets either. They can't trade 2028. Who can't? The Rockets? Heat find their star in Ja Morant. Oh, shit. Ja Morant and Jay Huff to the Heat for Duncan Robinson, Kyle Anderson, Jovic, Jaime Jaquez. Oh, that's fucking gross. Oh, that's terrible. Golden State Warriors 2025 first, which is not going to be a very good pick. 29 top 4 protected and a 2031 first. That feels terrible for Memphis. Is that not just god awful? Great deal for both sides. I mean, Miami, sure. Ja, Bam, Hero. Is that team winning anything? Probably not, no. All of your picks. John Bam is an interesting pairing for sure, but that team's not winning. Now, you got your star, though, in Ja Morant. So that's what Miami's really looking for. Why would Memphis do this? Is this not a horrible return? Now maybe Ja Morant's value's in the toilet. What more can Memphis get? Yeah, but like if this is the return, why even do it? Here's one thing that people, and I talked about this with Ja Morant. It's a business. It's a business. Ja Morant is one of the most, considering all of his flaws factored into the equation, one of the most valuable superstars from a marketing perspective in the league. You're a very small market in Memphis. These guys do not come around very often. You having one of the most popular, young, exciting players in the league is very valuable to a team like Memphis. So if you trade him for Duncan Robinson, hey, Kyle Anderson reunion, Jovic, who, hey, man, you guys know I love Jovic, but I'm not sure. And Jaime Jaquez, who, I mean, has to be up there for maybe most disappointing player in the league this year. Ugh. I mean, where am I ending up with that? Ugh, I don't know. I'm about to give Jaren Jackson Jr. a huge contract. Baines maxed out. Spo cut his minutes after Jaime Jaquez slept with his ex. No, Jaime Jaquez was just not very good. I'm pissed from watching Luka and watching AD shoot elbow jumpers with a broken dick. I don't know about the dick part, but I don't think Memphis says yes to this. What's our last one? Raptors win the Giannis sweepstakes. Oh, okay. Giannis and Pat Connaughton to the Bucks for Ingram. Ingram, RJ, 1 first-round pick, 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round picks. So you get Toronto's first-round pick. Listen, this says top 2 protected. If I'm Milwaukee, no, it's not. No, it's not. That shit's not going to be top 2 protected. Toronto has the 7th best odds in the lottery this year. And those Raptors picks could be valuable. Ingram and RJ Barrett. So if you're Milwaukee, you're saying, hey, fans, we're tearing it down. Can they even trade Ingram yet? What's the rules there? Because they just extended him like a month ago. I guess my first question is, it's going to say why Raptors do it, why Milwaukee does it. Why does Giannis do it? Look, the reality is the Bucks, if Giannis doesn't make a trade, the Bucks are going to work with him. The Bucks will work with him. Why? So this trade happens. The Raptors are Emmanuel Quickley, Giannis, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl. Giannis loves Masai. I mean, is that team competitive at all? Low-key great defense? No, I don't think anything low-key about it. I think that'd be a very good defense, but Scotty and Giannis are a strange fit. I mean, we talk about bad spacing with the Zion trade. Giannis, Scotty, Poeltl. Giannis and Dick, good fit. Sure. Toronto has more win-now intentions in its 3 consecutive seasons without a playoff trip would suggest. I mean, the Raptors roster is hilarious, especially when you look at how much money they're paying guys. Could the Bucks get better than this? Ingram and RJ. I guess in the sense that we don't own our picks, so let's at least try to be somewhat competitive. So our team next year, Dame's out. Our team next year is going to be what? Who the fuck's playing point guard for them next year? And they trade Giannis, who was basically playing point guard for them once Dame went out with that blood clot. If we trade Giannis, who's playing point guard for them? I mean, they're going to have to go get somebody, I guess. KPJ? That's disgusting. Let's just say Tyus Jones, Ryan Rollins. Tyus Jones goes there on a vet minimum or some shit. Dinwiddie, okay, all right. Then what's our starting 5? Oh my God, that's the most disgusting team I can ever imagine. I'm imagining selling Giannis and trying to sell your fan base on this team. Insert point guard here: Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, but Brook Lopez is probably gone in that scenario. That's your fucking team. With Doc Rivers coaching. That's sickening, man. That is so, imagine that. Imagine being a Bucks fan and that's your team next year. Kuz, RJ, and Ingram. That's pretty funny, actually. That's pretty funny to think about. Torturous. Oh, man. I think that so Giannis said he wants European stars to go to big markets. Do we consider Toronto a big market? I mean, Toronto is a massive, massive market. Don't get me wrong, but is it like a big NBA market though? That's always been the who's beating that big 3. Yeah, that'll be the hilarious clutch points tweet. Who's stopping this big 3? Kuzma, Ingram, and RJ. I need a Photoshop of that immediately. I need a Photoshop. Can we find one? Brandon Ingram in Bucks jersey. And I don't want AI slop. I don't want AI garbage. Oh. Hyper realistic art of Brandon Ingram in a Bucks jersey. Yeah, that's hyper realistic. I see the hyper realism there for sure. Man, AI has really ruined the game. There'd be Brandon Ingram in a Bucks Photoshop jersey, so easily findable. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know, guys. I think that these trades are funny. I think the Zion and the KD ones I like. I like quite a bit. I don't get why the Grizzlies do this one, and I don't. This one's fucking hilarious. Trading Giannis and that being your team. That's a tough pill to swallow. Any chance Trey gets traded? I would say there's definitely a chance. Absolutely, there's a chance. What jersey would Giannis look best in? Let me close my eyes and think. Rockets red. I don't know about red. Spurs are classic. Black and silver. Like, that's going to look good on pretty much anybody. So I think he'd look good in a Spurs jersey. Yeah, I could absolutely see a Warriors jersey. For sure. Mavs blue. Nah. No, not the Lakers puke yellow. Nets, just because I get in black and it looks good on anyone, really. I wouldn't mind trading Dwight Powell for Giannis and a couple of firsts. That's insane. That's insane. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I don't see it. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. Navs need a rebrand is the Las Vegas Rattlesnakes. I'm very ashamed to admit I just used Grok to generate an image, and it looks as shitty as you could possibly imagine. I'm very ashamed to admit I use this. This looks so bad. Grok, is this real? Grok, is this real? Why do people say AI? So AI as a search engine is so dangerous. So dangerous. Is this a first look at the I'm assuming that's supposed to well actually who's supposed to be who here? There's Kuzma. I'm guessing that's RJ Barrett. I guess that's Ingram. I think it's bots that reply asking Grok about every team. Grok, is this real? Grok, is this real? Yeah, this is the first look at the City Edition jerseys for next year for the Bucks. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. You know, I don't like them. Yeah, it does. It does look like Anthony Simons, doesn't it? I don't even know who that looks like on the left. I mean, that doesn't look like anybody I know. I've watched so many Bucks games with this big three. Oh, should we troll on Twitter a little bit? Should we troll on Twitter a little bit? All this team needs is Luka, and they can challenge. Come on, England. Mavericks versus Thunder, part 2. Series preview. Where's the emoji thread? Well, it's the rematch we've all been waiting for. It's the rematch we've all been waiting for. Thunder coming off a dominant series sweep of the dude. What's going on? I need you to understand my keyboard is angled. Using an AI generated picture of no, I'm not using an AI generated picture of Kyrie and Shea. Mavericks coming off another hard fought, Christ almighty, series against the Clippers. This will be fun. Grok, is this real? Grok, is this real? Grok, this surely can't be real. Somebody needs to start. That's how you need to ask. Grok, surely this isn't real, Grok. Grok, tell me right now this isn't real. Give it to me straight, Grok. Please, God, tell me this isn't real. PJ Washington. Lock. Held Kawhi to... I need a calculator. What's 13 divided by 41? 31%. All right. Held Kawhi to 13 of 41. 31%. From the field in round 1. Shot 46% from the corner on a 7-game series on 26 total attempts. Will be the key to the series for the Mavs. Anthony Davis. What did Anthony Davis do in round 1 against the Clips, guys? Anthony Davis. Star. 37 points per game. 19 rebounds per game, 6 blocks per game in a dominant showing against the Clippers. He's here. All right. A little bit more realistic. Okay. 26 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, 3.5 blocks. I mean, that's a little realistic. Oh yeah, 100th percentile rim deterrence so far this postseason. Let's spell deterrence right, huh? Is it storming outside? No. You guys should reply and say, Grok, please God tell me this is real. Grok, please God. Grok, for the love of God, tell me this isn't real. %, rim deterrence so far this postseason. Should dominate this series. Jason Kidd. Let's do Max Christie instead. Actually, no, we'll do Kill a Kid and we'll do a Nico Harrison one to close things out. Jason Kidd. Emoji. Killer. Oh, there's not a killer one. Isn't there one with someone holding a knife? Knife. We'll just do knife. Actually, let's do a gun. Kill a Kid. Oh, there might be a Grim Reaper one. Isn't there? No. Kill a Kid. Loses first game gimmick again last round. Coach circles around Helpless Lou. Ty Lue, we called him Helpless Lou. We call him Helpless Lou. Little Helpless Lou. 1 point. Wait. No, let's do 1.78 point per possession on ATOs. 100% on challenges. One every fourth quarter. And the last one right here. Nico Harrison. Hero. Superhero. Re-sign Nico Chance. Re-sign Nico Chance. Showering down at the AAC in Game 6. Clippers fans chanting, "Hire Nico." What's the name of their at? Imagine the Mavs get flagged and draft out generally get Nico fired. At the Intuit Dome. Was not in the tunnel every game. Defense does win championships. Mavs in 5. Yeah, true. We need a more positive. We need a more positive one. That's a good point. Here you go. Greatest trade deadline of all time? Question mark. Mavs in 6 for realism. All right. That's true. We can't break immersion. I like it. Let's go. Let's go for it. Gronk, for the love of God. Hey, if you're going to do Grok, don't do actual Grok. Do a fake Grok. I don't want Gronk actually replying. Gronk, is this for the love of what's Gronk? What's Robert Gronkowski's at? Is it Gronk? At Gronk? I'm asking Robert Gronkowski. At Robert Gronkowski. Is this shit fucking true? Robert Gronkowski. Please God tell me this is true, Gronk. It used to be Gronk because he couldn't spell his own name. I love the idea of somebody thinking Gronk is Gronk and people are just asking Robert Gronkowski's opinion on everything. Like, why are they asking Robert Gronkowski about this? Robert Gronkowski, please tell me this is real. Oh my God. We're so fucking stupid. Yeah, but Gronk cancers. Gronk's sitting on Twitter. I just did a Google search. Oh, man. All right, guys. All right. We'll be live tonight. Pretty sure I'm going to be live for Knicks Celtics game 1, but I do plan on, maybe getting a margarita or two tonight. So. But we will be live tonight. No matter what. Take that for data. Gronk, is this true? right, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Monday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys not regret it. Donations, members, you never have to do that. But it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll chat with you all later tonight. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Grok, is this stream ending? Yes, it's ending. Love you all. Talk to you all later. Bye.